final success story for today, we're joined by Mr. Vaibhav Ajay Mishra, co-founder and CEO, MudraCircle. And he's happy to share with us how cloud has positively impacted the growth of the business at MudraCircle. Once again, we are joined by our moderator, Ms. Sheena George, partner EY. Ms. George, over to you.
Thank you so much, Deepti. Warm welcome, Vaibhav. Thank you so much for being here with us. We have an exciting topic today. And to dive straight into it, there is so much change happening in the marketplace, post the pandemic especially. And so the need to be able to respond faster to a digital customer and the go-to-market speed that is required to cater to this new environment has gained a lot of prevalence. How have you been able to drive agility in your business, and what role has investments, especially in cloud, played in that journey?
Thanks for inviting me, Sheena, for this. So, a small introduction. I manage two different fintechs and remotely associated with another one, which is a large NBFC, that too all digital. So I work on largely on the mainly on the lending side. One is basically an SME lending platform. Other one is a digital personal loans platform. So both the businesses, the way these businesses were born 3 years back and another 1.5 years back, and the second one actually was born almost in pandemic. That's where actually we scaled also. And a lot of learnings actually over the, because as a background I'm basically an ex-banker, and fortunately, we had a good CTO where we were able to make a very good choice that point of time that we should adopt this public cloud only, because one was basically the cost, two was the kind of flexibility and scalability these public cloud platform basically bring in. Being a banker and coming with a very conservative thought process, it was a hard call, because coming from a bank, the first is how secure is the data, and those things will always one carries actually because of that experience. But then since the way we were actually the way we wanted to launch these platforms, the backbone was clearly technology. And other aspect of this is one is that you are bringing building the technology to streamline the processes, all the process automation, bringing in intelligence through AI, ML, and all those things. Other is a very basic thing, which is how do you reach out to these customers? Two methods: either you create your own servers, and in fact, I must admit that we tried that also. After cloud, we tried that also, and then finally we decided, no, we should reduce it. This is not something which really needs a focus, and that's how actually finally decided, no, never in premise kind of thing, unless until you see you are very large, and you feel the data is very secretive and sensitive, and really can a lot of harm to outside the ecosystem, then only it makes sense. That way it doesn't make sense. So for us, this was very obvious. Coming to the, particular business, so lending is a age-old business. We all know how it has run all across. Now, during pandemic, or even little before pandemic though, actually what it did, the adoption of digital processes it fastened up, and because of that adoption within SMEs, it was a real big help, where everybody was trying to find out their solutions, money and everything else only on Google or on the internet. That's where it became very important, and that's where actually we really realized this was the most appropriate choice, fortunately, we had actually made earlier. And so for us, cloud, the way this has helped, actually all the headache of scaling it, all the headache of writing codes, all the headache of procuring all sorts of licenses when you have an in-premise kind of thing, and having a person to manage it, making sure electricity is there all the time, all the headache is always gone. So that's was one of the major things, and hence the headache. We shifted all the headache to AWS. It was more like this. So I don't have anything to admit that it was all AWS which actually really helped. I must say, we have tried two, three large cloud options, but then finally we said AWS, nothing like AWS, honestly, though it is a little expensive. They should do something about it. But honestly, the way if you have a problem and if you want to connect with me, it's just a click on they go to their on their system, and real time you get connected with them. That doesn't happen with many of them. I will not name, but there is another one which we tried, lot of credits and everything came, but finally what had happened, that we realized their customer service sits somewhere in Hong Kong, and one team sits in somewhere outside the country. So we want to speak to them. I mean, not even a WhatsApp call or those things. It is an international call, and otherwise you deal with them over an email. So that's how actually being on cloud really helped. And other thing is being digital, which is very, very, if your business, the backbone of your business is being digital, and all technology platform is very important to have a very, very safe and reliable and credible partner, which we found in honestly we found in AWS. They charge a little more, but that's fine. At least that headache of talking to those people and all those things doesn't remain, and highly scalable. And the way it has this is, I mean, we have put our intelligent side of technology also, like AI, ML, also all those codes there only. So we really don't intend to even think of in premise, at least anywhere in the near future also. And we feel the data is, I mean, since they comply with everything, right from having their data centers in Mumbai and everything in India, complied with everything, we really don't feel there's been no headache of thinking that where my code and platform will actually is lying. So it's been a good help, honestly, and being digital, AWS has been a great partner.
Thank you, Vaibhav, for sharing with us. So you did mention a couple of things. You said that from your perspective, coming from your previous banking experience, going full cloud, that to public, was a bold decision. And one of those companies you mentioned was actually born during the pandemic, so that accelerated the need to actually cater to a completely digital consumer. And the drivers behind your decision to go public cloud was flexibility, scalability, and, as you mentioned, outsourcing the headache of managing a data center.
Yes.
Right? And basically the run and operations part was taken care of for you. And you found a partner that you felt could be relied on for safety, reliability, scalability, and support at the right time in the right place, right? So that's well articulated, Vaibhav. And for all the nice things you've told about AWS, I think at least for that they should deserve to give you a big discount.
You should pass on my message to Sandeep.
Maybe they're listening. No, but thank you so much for sharing that, Vaibhav. My next question to you will be: you mentioned about going cloud, right? But for the question around that driving agility, did you also, what about your applications? Did you modernize your applications? Right? What went in behind this journey to cloud? If you can just talk a little bit more on that.
So see, we are a very young company. It's been about three years old company, and when we started, we started actually building the whole thing around 3.5 years back.
Okay.
And the cloud as a proposition was always evolved. So we honestly never had any legacy things.
Okay.
But we found it very, very easy to while we were actually improving on our own processes and algorithms, we found it quite easy and flexible when we were actually changing things or making certain codes live and making any changes on the cloud. That was pretty clear, and even if there was a mistake, we were always quickly aware. Yes, there is something wrong. So
Hmm.
that's something, with my very limited experience in my second startup, which I actually started 1.5 years back. There actually we had tried, because of some internal suggestion. They said कि we should have in-premise also. Horrible experience, honestly. We said कि यार मतलब we should build technology and other things, or we should manage a server in our office.
Hmm.
Very, and I will probably never do it anymore.
Right.
And we spent a lot of money. I mean, that's one server was costing some 3.5 lakh rupees. And we got two servers. Unnecessarily we spent, and maintaining it probably, I mean, we maintained it at the office probably about, I think, about 6 7 months. We would have spent, in the salary of that person, we would have spent at 50 16 rupees. Unnecessary, total, complete waste. And that's something I feel ki, even because what happens, because there you are paying full, you
Right.
don't have a choice. Here in cloud, what happens, if you are aware, this is basically per hour or per minute, pay as you go kind of model. So which actually makes it far more. If you're not using it, you are obviously not paying it. There you
Right.
don't have a choice. It's a
True.
fixed bill of electricity and salary and many other thing, licenses and all that. So that makes it very easy. And yeah, coming to your question, I mean, honestly, I don't have any experience of bringing in, integrating in the legacy things, because of it was a newly built platform. But I suppose that that is actually way easier in AWS. They have made that process also very very easy to consume. So it consumes the older codes also quite well. That's what I understand.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. Thank you for answering that. My next question to you would be, right, and now there you may be having multiple technologies, right? How are you unifying all of that into a platform to stitch together different environments to come together, for better visibility and ease of use?
Okay. So see, what we use is basically a Linux server, which either way security wise and flexibility wise makes it quite easy to use multiple technologies. And these are different APIs. Usually, if you are connecting two different applications or two different portions of the same application. For example, let's say usually ML models, ML things are actually coded using Python. And many of the times, every other thing will be either in Java or Laravel or PHP kind of thing. So there are APIs which can be deployed, which is easy to connect these on the cloud itself. And yeah, so that makes life pretty easy. That's what I said. I mean, managing and even figuring out what if there is something which has something if something has gone wrong, you can actually very quickly, the system itself, actually there are technologies, the system itself gives you a trigger. Yes, there's something is wrong basically here, and check this. It's more like this. So connecting different technologies, AWS especially has made it very easy. I'm not saying others are bad. I don't have any experience of many others. I just have the experience of two, which is, and primarily it is AWS. The other one I'll not name. And there's a local one which we use basically for storage and all those things. That too we are now shifting here only. We said they are even managing even 2 3 clouds also is tricky. And when you do that, there are APIs which run something is uptime you don't know. And that's what actually there are few things which people should newer this thing which should always take care of, the uptime, downtime, and such things. And whether the promised RAM is there or not, speed is there or not. Something is promised, and many times I've seen that's not delivered also. So that's what I'll not take any names, but yes, I'm saying many times that happens. And we have not seen this with AWS at least. What
Okay.
is been promised, it is usually over delivered, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vaibhav, for that. My last question to you would be, are you having a mechanism where, having embarked on these investments, that you are measuring the ROI from these investments?
We do. So that's what I say. So since I had that experience of in-premise cloud or in-premise service also against this, And this is way more distinct. See, many of the times what has happened, there were things we were building, we launched some products, and thereafter we felt not a very appropriate time, or we need to go back and work a little more on these products. We simply went ahead and we stopped those machines. Now imagine what would have happened if it was a physical server. I mean, you couldn't do anything. It is there. But the cost would have, running cost would have been there.
True.
So that's one. Two is basically when you are in cloud. So for example, let's say your data, your business grows big, and so most of these cloud servers have that option of committed billing also. So you can decide, yeah, this is what I want. This is the configuration of the machine, and when you want to upgrade, you can upgrade the machine. And if you, while upgrading, if you want committed billing, you can have a committed billing also. We know, so the fixed amount. Because many times people feel ki yaar, especially in India, there will be a big bill which will come. So in such scenarios, if you're sure that this will be the billing like, I mean, discuss with them and probably pay a committed amount for the year, and it will be a fixed thing which will keep coming. So those are options which there's a lot of flexibility and innovation apart from technology. Also, these cloud servers have brought in terms of in actually pricing and costing also, which actually helps. So other thing is ki there are because as I said, in premise licenses and all such things, this is just not salary and electricity. There are plenty of other things also which actually you'll have to manage when you have an in premise thing. In this case, you don't have to manage anything. One big headache, then you can actually focus on smoothing those digital processes and technology and not worrying about the server. So I feel one is basically the direct cost, which actually helps in optimizing your ROI. Two is the other time and everything also is one should have to also consider as a cost, because that's also something which you can actually put in somewhere to generate better ROI. So it's always, I feel, is definitely a way better option to be on cloud and keep focusing on business and technology rather than server. It is a very bad idea to actually to have anything else. I don't know. So this is my experience, and disclaimer is that this is my experience. So others may have their own experience, and then it could be the views may differ. So yeah, that's
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. That's well answered. To summarize your point, one of the key measurable variant that you got your ROI from was that you could scale on demand and then pay as you go, right?
Yeah.
Only pay for what you use. And several, you refer to some innovative pricing models that can help lower your overall TCO. All of these has been game changer for you to keep your ROI under control. Thank you so much, Vaibhav. This was very useful discussion. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. I'm going to hand it back to you, Deepti.
Ajay, thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Absolutely our pleasure, sir. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Mishra. And thank you, Ms. George, for having moderated the sessions wonderfully. And with that, we have come to the end of track 2 of the Economic Times Cloud Innovation Summit 2021. Well, these were our best cloud stories. We hope that you enjoyed and had a lot of takeaways from these very inspiring stories. To post your comments and thoughts on social media, do use the hashtag #ETCloudSummit. We have the plenary session running, so you can join us there for some great panel discussions and chats. On this virtual platform, do visit the signature wall where you can write your comments and views. Don't forget to visit the leaderboard where you can collect points and win amazing gifts and lots of vouchers. Your feedback is very valuable to us, so please take out the time to fill up the feedback form. And also remember to download your digital certificates of participation. This event was brought to you by ET Edge and ET Unwired. We at ET Edge and ET Unwired are always in an endeavor to provide you with the best platform for your business needs. And once again, I would like to thank our partners who have supported us all throughout. Our presenting partner, Dell Technologies, co-powered by partner, Amazon Internet Services. Our cybersecurity partner, Cloudflare. Gold partners, Hitachi Vantara, Commvault, Software One, and VMware. Our silver partners, Snowflake, Reddington India, and IBM partner. Associate partner, Samsung Data Systems, Lenovo, and Intel. Our media partner, Silicon India, CIO Review India. Well, with that, it's time to bid adieu. Until next time, this is your host Deepthi Diwan signing off. Have a great day ahead, all of you. Thank you.